which is a lot of money, but to some people they want to buy the name. Same thing, I don't know, in the skateboard industry, where the cool kids will be wearing the cool cap. And they're basically buying it just because of the name. Now, kind of going hand in hand with this one, as a hand, we have the value proposition based on brand or like status. And in some ways it's similar to the design one. But an example of this would be, I just wear a watch because I love the name. And when I wear that watch, it makes everyone think I have lots of money, and it gets me status. Even though the cost of that watch, which I don't know how much a Rolex watch is, whether what are they, like 20 grand or whatever, goes far beyond it just telling the time. So one of the ones, value propositions that probably springs to mind first to you is one based on price. This is, very simple one. Company comes to market and it creates a product or service that is cheaper than someone else. So some of the let's use an airline analogy again. Some of the airline, new types of airlines that sprung up, like Southwest. We've got Ryanair. We had ValueJet before it was renamed as AirTran, and basically what they brought to the market was a very cheap way to fly. So you could go from Dallas to Houston for $60. It's almost like catching a Greyhound bus. And so their complete value proposition was based on doing it cheaper than the other airlines. Cost reduction is another proposition that can be offered to a customer. It provides a reason for purchasing the product or service. Technology has really been driving costs down in a lot of areas, especially with some of the web services like Salesforce.com, for example. So Salesforce.com, first company to really put the customer relationship management software in the cloud. And now you pay just an annual fee. They say you can pay a monthly, but it never actually is something you can do. But anyway, that's another thing. So you pay a monthly fee, say $300 per user. And for that, they host the software, they run all the servers, and they take all the hassle out of having to run a software product. And that represented a very big cost reduction in comparison to having to do it yourself and host and buy all of your own equipment. So just three more then. Risk reduction can be the basis of a value proposition. And as soon as you say risk, you probably think of the insurance industry. And so when you come to, you've probably seen these adverts on, almost infomercial type adverts, when you come to buy a car for an extra $2,000, you can get a warranty. So what these guys are actually selling is really, peace of mind and the ability to mitigate the risk that my car breaks down and I don't want to have to pay a very high car bill. Final two, accessibility is one of them. And what I mean by accessibility, that is when a value proposition makes a product or service accessible to a group of consumers or businesses that wasn't previously available to them. So the mutual fund industry have done this, especially when it comes to hedge funds. So originally, when hedge funds built up their great head of steam over the last 10 years. Originally, hedge funds had a minimum investment criteria of $250,000. So that was a lot of money for someone to invest into one fund, and it actually put hedge funds out of the reach of many people. So what mutual funds now do is really act as a hedge fund in themselves. They basket together a bunch of hedge funds, and they price them like mutual funds. So you can just go and buy them for $30 unit. You've got daily liquidity, which you don't normally have if you actually buy directly into the fund. And so what they've now done is made a new investment vehicle available to everyone basically in the world. There's the world. And final play, if you like, on value proposition is based on convenience or usability. And usability, I mean making something much easier to use. A classic example of this was when Apple came along and designed something called the iPod, and they married it up so we had kind of wedding bells with something called iTunes. And what this did was it brought it brought music and portability together. And it was this convenience play where the value of what Apple did, and so that concludes all of the areas of the value proposition building block